Hey there. I know. I did it again. I forgot to shut the door before we got started today. Good afternoon. How is everyone? I hope your day is marvelous and I hope you are feeling fantastic. I want to mention a few things before we get started on SWANDA today. Brother Francis is having a day of remembrance this weekend, so he'll be doing his class on meditation from 11:30 to 12:30, and then he'll be doing his day of remembrance from 1 to 3. Brother Francis is really good at telling you your gifts, so if you're a little confused, you have some problems with directions that you're going, his meditation is really powerful, lifts your energy up, and he can really help you see what it is that you can and should be manifesting for your future. I want to say a big, huge shout out to Christine Michelle. She came in yesterday. She's our sound healer. I know, if you remember, I did a interview with her. And yesterday I had my session with her, and boy, was it amazing. Not only did I start to time slip, out of body, I could feel myself. It was shifting. Sound is always an important aspect that we can bring into our healing. I think that there's absolutely no shame in going to some really great healers and trying to get that layer of dust off of you that may be blocking you. And boy, Christine will be here for the psychic fair, so not to forget her. Come in. It's a session, 20 minutes for $20. I will tell you that after the session, I'm going to show you. I think this is the way to do it. Can you see those chimes that are behind the light? Those chimes were moving. We were both at the door of the room, and the chimes were actually moving without any help from us, and there was no draft. So there was a lot of energy manifesting in the room. So thank you, Christine. So I want to give another little shout out for thank you to Barbara Portsline. She has taught me that I can do it in the way of technology. Because of her, I've learned to create shortcuts. I've learned the Teachable platform more or less. I've learned to record videos, PowerPoint, Canva, and now I'm on to Loom. So that's what I'm working on this afternoon. We'll see how well it goes. I wanted to start off today by saying, you know, even animals can have some fear in them. And to tell you, I'd fallen asleep with the dogs and hadn't put them up yet for the night. Really, it was a long day yesterday. Very pleasant, very happy, but boy, that energy work just kind of let me just drop and settle in. And all of a sudden, I was met nose to nose with Phoebe. She put her nose against mine to let me know that she was having a hard time with the storm. And she wanted to be put in her safe place so that she could weather it out, because she was really having problems. Poor little thing was shaking like a leaf, and she likes to get in and under, play cave, so that she feels safe and secure. So we did that. Now, on to our topic about choice. I've had a lot of things that in shifts this year. When we have somebody that we are working with side by side, who you're telepathically in touch with, who's really monumental in your life, and you lose that individual, it's a deep dig out. And I think that we all have micro mini dark night of the souls, and sometimes we have to really bottom out before we're really open to future possibilities. So what I want to say is that that's kind of what happened with me these last 3 years. And this last year I've been bringing myself back to who I always was, who I always am, who I am naturally, without the grief and the pain and the sorrow. I mention this because if we're working on ourselves, we're all bringing light. If we're working toward the higher consciousness, if we're working to manifest a better future, if we're wondering, is this the great divide or the great awakening? What is your way of phrasing it and looking at it? Because we are really all kind of struggling in this energy unless we just choose to accept it and grow from that. And what I mean by that is we become consciously aware of it. We become so consciously aware that we look at it as our great opportunity, and how our heart fills with love and vitality, and really is an amazing opportunity for us to grow in spirit gifts and consciousness. You know, subconsciously, if you're choosing your life by not really paying attention, kind of reacting to people, somebody at the office may have said something and you overheard just a portion of it and you took it personally. Those triggers are there. They'll help you grow too. But who wants to grow through anger or fear? I mean, that's a really hard one. Now, the 5 stages of grief, and I think if we were all being really honest with ourselves, our lives are changing. We're all pretty much in a grief status. Is denial, anger, bargaining, depression, then acceptance. Okay. What are we denying? Are we denying ourselves our highest metaphysical being? Are we denying ourselves access to our higher consciousness? Are we in denial that we're really beings of light and love? Are we in denial that we all have gifts of spirit? Does it sound exhausting? Is it fearful to acknowledge yours? I really want you to start thinking about these things, because we've got our Halloween review coming up. And in our Halloween review, we go back into spirit and we really assess through our Akashic record. We work with our spirit team, our soul guide, our higher beings that have brought us this far into what we need to take ourselves to the next level, to the higher consciousness. And if we're in denial of that, it makes their job to get through to us a little harder. So we have to plan our next year or two with more drama. And who wants that? I mean, really. And as the anger, because we're feeling divided now, well, I'm going to kind of ask you to look at this a little differently. So you're a person who loves to go to bars and go dancing, and you really enjoy having a drink. Well, you're not going to go to church and go dancing in church. Well, maybe your church lets you dance, but more than likely you're not going to go to church to have drinks and dance, and it's not going to be at 1 in the morning where you partied it up. So the vibration isn't right for that there, but the vibration is right for that at the bar. And if you're someone who wants to do that, chances are you're going to bring those people to your table to associate with. It's like attract like, right? And also you're bringing them to you so that you learn not to do that anymore, to recognize the beautiful, beautiful being that you really are. Sorry, my allergies are bad. It rained and I'm a little dry. So subconsciously, if we're subconsciously choosing our life by our wants, by our desires, then we're bargaining in our grief for change. We're sad that we can't have this. We are sad that we can't have that. So we try to barter and beg and trade it out somehow. And it leaves us depressed until we finally come into acceptance. Oh, well, I guess this is all there is to my life, and that's the status quo, so I might as well be happy with it. And I don't think that's how you should have to be. I don't think we should look at our life at this time as a deathing of a situation. I think it's the rebirthing of a higher consciousness. And these are really good opportunities for us to move through that. Now, we want to make sure that we understand that we don't want to react, okay? So when those people come up to us and they challenge us about global warming or ETs or any other myriad of stuff that we can pick at, sexual orientation, gender identity, cultural diversity, we can make that a real negative, and we can fight with people instead of learning our lessons. We've got 6,000 plus indigenous people here in the Northern America sphere alone that they found so far, that those babies, those children died. And we need to bring light to that. Now, do I think that they died and it was horrible? They probably died horribly. I'm not going to deny that. That would be petty and childish and really stupid of me. But they died, and they're bringing us higher states of awareness. They're bringing the injustices that were done to them to a higher consciousness, to those of us that do care to make change in the world. So when their passing should be in honor, and it should be honored, and it should be loved, and those beings that did and went through that, even though that was their experience, we can send love to them. We can honor them for their sacrifice so that we can grow spiritually. Now I'm going to tell you, this is going to be kind of silly, but I want you to think about this. If you believe in reincarnation, then maybe you were one of those children. Maybe you were one of the children that were found under the water tanks in, I believe it was Scotland or Ireland, by the same church. No, they were killed. I think it was the Irish. They didn't like Irish. My point is that we have all been red, yellow, black, white. We've been LGBTQ+++. We have done this millennia after millennia after millennia. It's called the InBirth of Brahma in metaphysics as I learned it. Kind of, if you think about it, our diaphragm drops down, our lungs expand. So the universe expanded, and now it's contracting, coming back in. So everything's coming closer together and to more awareness. And we have this opportunity so that we can bring those realizations to light, that we really and truly are, hi Brother Francis, we really and truly are amazing spiritual beings. And this isn't our first time here. And no, we haven't, we've done this for tens of thousands of years. An age is 2,100 years. A civilization is right around 250,000 years, or give or take. Okay, some people say 200, so somewhere between 200 and 250,000. I was taught 250,000. Somebody else may know differently. And I'm not saying either one is wrong. I'm just saying in the measure of eternity, what's 50,000 years? Not much. And we are eternal. So we've done this all. We have been as negative can be. We have, treated each other horribly. We have beaten and been beaten. We have raped. We have been raped. We have pillaged. We've set fire. We have stolen. But we have also graciously healed and loved and progressed and brought our best that we have to humanity. And so having this level of understanding, we understand that, everybody's got different levels, because truth doesn't change. It's just our ability to comprehend it that does. Now, I have people that tell me they're 4D, 5D, whatever D. And I'm going to ask you this. I'm going to ask you to really kind of think about this. If you're 3D, all that means is that you're choosing to create a very stable, ordinary life, maybe with a few dramas thrown in that are trying to wake you up to the higher being that you are. Maybe you have actually gone through something so horrendous that you don't want to bring forth the higher being that you are. All I'm saying is in 3D, we're reacting to our lives instead of taking action. Now when we get to 4D, we're looking at, a little wider view. We can see things a little more clearly, and we're not being chased by demons anymore, and we're not blaming other people for where we find ourselves. We're starting to be a little more accountable. By being accountable, it's really important because once we start owning our stuff, we know where to make changes from. So once you know, oh, I picked that relationship and, whoo, man, was that just wrong? Or maybe I picked that relationship and he left me or she left me. That's my love of my life, and now I can never go on. Instead of bringing that thought conscious to you, you can also open up to, hey, if I got somebody that amazing, what would happen if I deliberately put focus on bringing forth a person who vibrates to the frequency that I am now? What if I actually chose to be with somebody that was going to help bring me to higher states of consciousness in a gentle and easy way? And if you're 5D, well, heck, you can build your own world. You can go out there and you're literally pulling a house together from the ethers. You're literally manifesting food in front of yourself. You can control your hunger. You don't have to worry. You know everything is in peace. And why wouldn't you be out helping other people learn that, right? So we have to really look and say, it doesn't matter where we are or where people think we are, okay? It only matters where we know we are. And by knowing where you are, we can then accept the things that we make happen in our lives. We can choose or create those things that are going to be for our soul growth. For example, I had no desire to engage with people when Lance died. I just shut down completely. Oh my gosh. I was so angry. I was hugely angry. Every conversation that I had, I was seeing him die over and over and over. Even if while I was talking to somebody that I was having lunch with, it tore at me because I'm so angry and I was so much in my grief over losing him. And so what I realized was I didn't want to deal with any more angry people because everybody tried to tell me what they thought. Well, you can't tell somebody who's grieving what they should think. They're never going to think what you think. They're only going to feel what they feel. So I decided I was going to cut people out of my way because that way I could engage my life and try to heal my way. Well, the irony was I kept bringing more and more angry people to me. Because they were going, look, girlfriend, this is what you look like. You're trying to get your point across and it's not working. And in spite of all these massive amounts of evidence that I had, that Lance was always right there, that he was talking to me, that he flung my door open, that he was moving stuff around my house going, Mom, I'm here, chill out, I'm sitting on the porch. In spite of all of that, my devastation was huge. So all of my thoughts were involved in watching him beg for his next breath. He kept begging, I can't breathe, stop, let me breathe. And that played over and over and over again in my mind, and that's all I could see. It was just horrible. But it's not anymore. Why? Because I know that was his individual experience. But I also know that he is a being again. He is light again. He is already having another life with me on another lifeline, timeline, dimension line. We're already together doing things. So we know these things and how they play out. And while we talk and we understand these things, what I'm trying to get the point across is it's not to tell you how horrible it was for me for Lance. It's more about how wonderful it is that I had that experience and I can say, hi Rosie. I can say hello to everybody and I can smile at everybody and I can feel the love from spirit and over on the other side again. Big sigh of relief. Big sigh of relief. So since he's energy, I now hear him, I talk to him, he talks back, he shows me what he wants to show me. I just come from a different frequency now. And he can get through clearer to me because I'm not angry anymore. So when I chose last year to release this anger, I started shifting like crazy. And I'm becoming the light that I want to see in the world. And that's what I want you guys to do. So every time, people go, well, how do you do it? Well, it's practice. It's practice. It's waking up every morning and saying, I choose to love the world. I choose to feel connected to everyone. I choose universal love. I choose the path of truth and light. I choose to trust my fellow human beings. I choose to trust myself. I choose to trust my day. So every time I do that, then I start waking up to a higher vibration, a higher frequency, which is why I started time slipping on the table with Christine yesterday. It was amazing. I'm going to get control of that gift, and hopefully I'll be able to show everybody how to do it. Because, oh my gosh, it's amazing to be standing in one place and knowing that you are in another place having a different experience, but knowing that there's information in that experience that you need to make this moment better. So I want you to get rid of all your negative talk. I don't want you to go back over last year, last week. I don't want you to go over your childhood. I want you to thank that childhood. I want you to thank last year. I want you to thank everybody who was involved in your day yesterday. I want you to send love to all those parts and all those experiences, because truly that's what helped you grow. And I want you to stay away from negative thoughts, because when you start experiencing negative thoughts, she doesn't like me, she's mean to me, he's just not nice as a person, you cut yourself off at the flow from that person, and there's nothing that they can do but love you. So you might feel like that, but they don't. So I don't want you to buy into that. I want you to really engage the power of who you are, and decide on your own to say beautiful, wonderful things. I love that person. They are so amazing. They have brought to me such joy and laughter. They brought to me such a valuable lesson. Wow, I didn't realize that this is who I really was. Thank you. I love you. And I want you to thank and be grateful. And I want you to send love all the time. And I have a friend, I love her. I've known her for 30-some years. And every time something happens that is not, like if you dropped your cup and spilt your coffee, she goes, "What light?" Because what she's trying to tell you is fill it with love. There's a reason for it. Fill it with love. So she white lights everything. So if you mean to do that, do that. Just white light. The car that cut you off, white light. She does this because it reminds her all the time to stay in her integrity and to grow in spirit. And she's amazing. She's a gifted woman, and she has such love to share with the world. But it becomes difficult sometimes, I will tell you, to walk out when you have that level of frequency that she holds, because the world can be a bit overwhelming. Because you're very sensitive to the people who are negative. I mean, she has, I think that's why some of the masters choose to stay off the grid. I mean, the true masters, that not the ones that kind of say they are, but true masters, they get off the grid because they're here to help us with their light. There's nothing they can do to help us with our negativity other than give us their light, hold the earth high in frequency. So that's what they do. And she's, I think, fast becoming one of those people in so many levels. I figure a few more lifetimes and that baby's got it. So she's very amazing. And maybe it's this life. I don't know. I'm not here to judge where she's at. But I want you to think about the fact that with all this great awakening, great divide, choose to use the frequency of the words that you choose. I prefer to think everybody's waking up. And I think that everybody's waking up to their own reality, and I'm hoping that it's in tune with my reality. But I want you to think about something for a minute. If we know time is spherical, we're on Earth, and we know that we are here in Albuquerque or wherever you're at, in your living room, in your office, in another town or whatever, somewhere where you're by, there may be, people walking down the street from 300 years ago, like a path that they made. There might be a farm where they're growing food. There might be a hunter coming through. There might be gatherers picking berries. You can't see them. So why is that? Because your vibration is different. The vibration of the earth is different. So if it's not the same, like, okay, so flatliners come in and they're like, oh, the earth is flat. Well, maybe because that's how they see it. That's their level of awareness. I tell people this, and I give this scenario. Imagine that this is a river, and you're going through the river. Down at the bottom of the river, it moves real slow. It's cold. The sunlight doesn't get there. And the fish go wandering through the rock. Move real time, very slow. And up at the top, the sun is getting to it, and the waves are going a little faster. You're going through a little quicker blur. The top of the river moves faster, and you jump in the river, and you land your feet in, and you disrupted the bottom of the river, where people that might be flatliners are having their very peaceful existence. They didn't ask to be disturbed, so why are we making fun of them? That's their level of awareness. Why are we condemning anyone for their beliefs? Some people believe in ETs. I believe that there is a million different planets in this universe, billions, that have awareness and levels of consciousness that we're not aware of. But somehow we're all linked in the cosmos. Somehow we're all there together. So why are we condemning or judging another person for anything that their choice for their life experience is? And I realize that people are really fighting over a lot of health issues now. And I'm not going to go into right or wrong. I'm going to tell you it's their choice. It's also their frequency that changes the outcome of that choice. Okay? When it first hit, I laughed. I said, well, I'll never get it because I don't get 2 weeks off in bed. I don't get 2 weeks off in bed. So, you know what? That was my reality. So, while I'm mocking it, myself for it, I'm also saying I didn't fear anything from it. I don't have that level of fear. I will also tell you that when Lance died, I wanted to die too. So I created a situation that I'm in the process of uncreating. And again, thanks to Christine, movement was created where I created the situation in which I would not be engaged on growing myself spiritually. I would be checking out because I was angry and depressed and feeling sorry for myself. And I understand that. So we understand all these things, and we understand that the only thing that we can do is change our actions toward others. Okay? And I'm going to repeat this over and over and over and over, no matter how many times I have to say it, because that's your best way of changing your vibration, your understanding, your frequency. Really, I have some of the most interesting family members, and I could be living in the wound, and I've recently reconnected with them through the passing of my niece, and I'm like, one of them holds a lot of anguish, and I can love her, but that doesn't mean I can change her. All I can do is send love to her. So it doesn't bear repeating all the things that went before that separated us in our consciousness, because I don't want to fight, and I don't want to engage that energy in order to fight. It's just not worth it to me. Just like any past relationship, there's a reason, there's a season. Sometimes we got to let them go, because if they're vibrating here and you're trying to get here, engaging that energy takes you back to those memories. And those memories you should be sending love to, and thanking those memories, and thanking that person for making those memories with you that brought you to this table to be watching this video. So I want you to change your action toward others. If you see somebody struggling, open the door for them if they've got too many bags in their arms. If you see somebody who needs some yard work done, just stop and do it. Is it going to kill you? If you have an afternoon off, why not sneak over to the neighbors and pull their weeds? You don't know why their weeds are growing. You know, you don't have to say anything. Do you know that there is a town in Peru, a village in Peru? These people are so connected to each other that they talk to the earth, they talk to the trees, they talk to all the elements, okay? But they see something that needs being done. They don't go, oh, you owe me $50 because I fixed your rain gutter. They don't do that. They're happy to be of service, and they just do it. They don't wait and ask, do you need help? They just do it. And then that person does the same. It's not like one person's going, well, I get all the attention. Everybody must wait on me hand and foot. I'm the princess. You're not seeing me. Hell no. They're saying, I see you so much as a beautiful being of light and love that I'm going to lend a hand. What if we did that? What if we shared that energy, and we shared by making that a reality for people? And we didn't go, hey, psst, guess what I did for you today? Just let it go. Make them feel good. And now I want you to, how to start your shift, I want you to start looking. When you say I can't, you fail. You can't. When you say I am, you succeeded. So I want you to change I can't to I am. I am doing this. I am doing that. Not I can't do this or that. So instead of saying, I'm okay, things are okay. Well, that sounds like you're eating really bad tapioca pudding, and I love tapioca pudding. So say, I'm fantastic. I'm loving my life. I love you. Say something like that. Put out that positive flow of light. Instead of saying, I want, I am abundant. I have abundance, and I love my abundance, and I love everyone I get to share it with. I'm angry. I love you. That was uncomfortable for a moment, but I love you. I'm afraid. There's nothing to afraid, because I am an eternal being of light and love. If you die, what's the big deal? You're going to come back in a bigger, better, more powerful way, because you're going to tell people that that's what you're doing. So, do these things. Open doors, change your actions. Above all, don't try to convince everyone else. Because you know what? If they can't, if they say they can't, if they put up an excuse, let them have their excuse. That's their life, that's their choice. You can't change it. Love them through it, but don't buy into the excuse. Don't try to fix it for them. Just let them have it. Because honestly, whatever they're creating, they need that experience to grow. So you're going to love them, and you're going to love their choice. I don't care how you want to see them grow, just let them have their choice. You can only take responsibility for you. And if you build your light of love, others will bask in it. They will grow in it, and they'll start to heal. Quit worrying about what they do and how they are. If they don't want it, you can't make them. Love them. Love them. Our job is to stay at the level of spiritual progression that we have accumulated through all of our lives, and to rise above that, to keep opening. That's our job. And we can better serve everybody if we are working from the moment now. Yes, you can see your future. I see my future is happy, fulfilled, my family happy. But right now in the moment, I am my best person I've ever been. And with that, I can share that with the people who want to come hang out and be best people ever too. And together we will grow light, and we will make change. And those that are drawn to that change, those people that are drawn to that light, that energy, is going to be the ones that are actually on the same path you are. So let's make it a little simple. If you want to go to the bar, you're going to go to the bar. You're going to hang out with the bar people. If you want to go to the family barbecue, go to the family barbecue, hang out with the barbecue. If you want to get higher education, you're going to go to higher education and hang out with the people that are getting higher education. If you want to do all of the above, that's fine. If you want to grow in spirit, you can add that to your repertoire. You can do anything you want to do. All you have to do is do it. And you can't blame anyone else forever again for anything that happens, because you brought it to yourself. So don't look at others that you think are beneath you as new souls or as stupid or beneath you. Look at them as sleepyheads. They're just sleepy. Shine your light. Give that love. And then they'll wake up. They'll start waking up. You cannot change a person who is so controlling in their own life that they can only do this, 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 and this. All you can do is stand back, shine the light, let them go about their business. They will eventually change or move themselves out of your life. It's okay. But you can only do that by graciousness. Okay? You will draw people to you that, excuse the pun, resonate essentially with you. Sorry, couldn't resist. With that being said, know that I love each and every one of you. I thank you for being on my journey. My heart to all of yours. Much love. Many blessings. Have a great day.